let's start off with the obvious. We know it's Royal Rumble, post Royal Rumble, into WrestleMania. Today it was supposed to be Rock, all about the Rock, Roman, and Cody, and it delivered that. I would say it delivered that. My thoughts was I think it felt flat for me. Um, I know there's going to be critics out there if they even listen to this small little podcast who are saying, "Oh, you're one of those wrestling fans that can't be pleased." And it's not even about that. If you like this, great. This did something for you, great. Just for me, it just can't help but make me feel like it's still trying to make me feel like an idiot. Like they're trying, and I get this with wrestling. Oh, it's like they're always trying to pull you one way or make you think it's the other way. When they pull you right back, it's the other way. It's just I think maybe it was also like a lot of like the wrestling news outlets talking about it, like your Dave Meltzers of the world, your Sean Round Saps, the big YouTube channels like Cultaholic and Wrestle Talk, just like feeding into this machine. And I think this is what WWE wanted, and it just kind of took me out because like you don't know what they're doing, but it's a you don't know what they're doing, and it's just like, oh, why are we even doing this though? You had a wide open goal. You had the shot and you decided not to take a shot, or you just purposely spiked it, or you kicked it over the goal, even though it was wide open. You flubbed it. You fumbled it. I don't know if you guys are in agreement with me on that and everything in terms of what I was saying, but I know there's people out there that probably will and will not. That's fine. It's my opinion. The Rock, the idea of The Rock ever being in WrestleMania never enticed me. It never really, did anything for me. Um, It did something for the fans today. Vegas was very pro Rocky, Rocky rocks chants or
No,
Rocky. Let's
whoa,
go,
whoa, whoa. What feed were you hearing?
dude. Are you kidding?
They were literally chanting, "We want Cody. Rocky sucks."
No, 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 no. At some point, I definitely heard they were saying Cody sucks.
No,
I
No,
gotta go
no.
watch.
it
I
was all
gotta
Rocky sucks.
really okay. So
Yes.
maybe okay. I don't know. I don't know. It could
I
maybe.
can see how it would sound like that because
Yeah,
the
they're very
two
short.
names,
It
but
sounded
no,
like.
no.
I heard, but there was also a lot of cheering though. Like before, like I started messaging you guys, and when he came out, like he got some cheers. It was not very mixed. It was a lot of cheers. That I can attest to. Like it wasn't booze. I know what booze sound like. Yeah, like the phrasing can.
Well, towards the end though, he was getting booed.
No,
Everybody
towards
cheers
the
when they
end.
first see The
Yeah,
Rock.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Towards the end, there was a
yeah.
lot of like The Rock has it's finally returned. Like they were with him. He was getting cheered. He was doing well. Like and like shit. This is probably going what they wanted, and then they swerved us in a way. Basically, just to
They
summarize.
cheered when he came out, and then even when
Yeah.
he did the finally, The Rock came back to Vegas. Once he
Yeah.
said back to Las Vegas, they then started booing him like
Oh,
immediately.
yes, yes, yes. That I caught.
Because like you,
Absolutely.
you kind of even if you want to boo The Rock, you have to do the finally The Rock
Yeah.
has come
Yeah,
back, and you
And
sure,
also have to
sure.
when you
Gotta
do
get the
hear
the
classics.
that when you hear that music, you're just conditioned after years of
Yeah.
wrestling to be like,
and you
"Oh shit, the
also
fucking Rock is
and you also
here."
got to do the millions and millions thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I see what you were saying, Chris. When I felt like he was gassed or like he was stopping himself from crying.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
like,
I've seen that look. It's the same look at the end of the 2014 Rumble when Roman won and the fans were shitting on the match and they sent The Rock out there
mm-hmm,
and he holds his arm up. And this
mm-hmm.
is like like you can Google this image. This is like a famous image now.
Yeah, I
And The
know.
Rock like points at Roman and you can see on his face he's like, "What the fuck? I'm getting booed." Like it's something that unless he was a heel on purpose, or unless he was like a baby face super early on,
Mm-hmm.
not something that happened naturally. Like The Rock has always been, you know, charismatic guy, so it's hard not to like him.
Yeah.
He looked, yeah, not. It's funny. It's like part of it is like they're turning this into a work now, and like you said, it's kind of annoying because it's like we don't even have to be here. Like
Mm-hmm.
we already had the match set up, but so like part of it did seem like The Rock was like laying it on a little bit, playing into it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a part that also just looked like he was genuinely like, damn, I really thought if I showed up, everybody was gonna be down with it. And there was a part of him that just looked like he was like, "Fuck, man, I can't believe people actually don't like want this match to happen."
Even with that
Yeah.
tree thing, he had to like I feel like halfway through he had to change the way he was gonna say it because he was like, whether you like it, whether you don't, you're gonna respect it. And then he was like, what was it he said about the tree? About doesn't matter what you think about it or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Like
like The
he's
Rock doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think or something.
yeah, it was like he planned to show this tree thinking he'll get praise for it's the only real royal family, blah blah blah. And he's like, shit, what we gonna do? How am I gonna, switch this around on the fly? But
Bro, they were what chanting him?
yeah.
Yeah.
They were giving him the fucking jobber what chance.
Hmm.
I look, I haven't seen a Rock promo in a long time. I don't know if he's ever gotten the what chance before, but that's the kind of stuff that happens when the people watching the promo want someone else to be talking. Like, unless you're Stone Cold, those chants are not um they're not being done for nice reasons. They
Hmm.
want you to shut the fuck up. Uh yeah, I mean, I had my doubts early on, but this crowd really was not into the idea of Rock Roman because it almost felt like they sent him out there just to try one last time.
Mm.
Just to be like, hey, just you'll be there, mention it, and then maybe the crowd will be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, The Rock's here. Woo, let's see the match. No, he was like, do you want to see the biggest WrestleMania match ever, Rock and Roman? And the crowd was like, fuck you, man. We want to see Cody finish his story. It
Or
was beautiful. It was true. It's dude, I can't remember the last time because I don't know if we were even really watching when Daniel Bryan the whole Yes Movement thing. I think I might have tuned out before that.
yeah.
So I can't remember if the internet has ever like collectively bullied the WWE into fully 180ing, even though this is their own fault. It's like a problem they created. But
Right.
we successfully bullied them into changing the match back.
I mean, look, all I'm gonna say too is like Cody, look, this is why like I don't know. Obviously, we won't. I don't know if one day a book comes out or if anyone ever wants to admit what happened behind the scenes for stuff. I mean, eventually they do. You know, all these older
Right,
wrestlers
right.
come out saying. I really hope one day. I feel like Cody would come out and say what actually happened. Um, and let's see, because with the Daniel Bryan thing, that was definitely for sure like the fans bullying.
Oh
This,
yeah.
like, I could see them on. I do buy into the idea that they're trying to like put more adversity into, or as Russell Talk will say, adversity, more into Cody so he can, triumphantly win, kind of like what happened with the Daniel Bryan stuff. In a
Hmm.
way, it's worked in their favor organically because fully behind Cody immediately. None of this rock stuff. The internet went berserk. So it's working. If that's what they wanted and they predicted it, great. If not, and they're just kind of feeding into it. They fed too much into it, I think. And just like for some fans, it's definitely taken like the momentum off. I don't think it hasn't taken off the momentum off Cody, thankfully. It's just
No.
like this is just like what are we doing here? We're just running in circles, just like let's see them put on a banger match and hopefully send the fans home happy this time.
And according to The Rock, we're the Cody Crybabies.
Yeah, apparently.
Cody
That was a good line
Crybabies.
though. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, see, once he said that line, I'm like, okay,
I know,
let's
but
see.
dude, that's the thing though. I wanted him to like I like when a heel is a real dickhead. Like when I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
be
yeah,
insulted, you know?
yeah.
And so like when he went on Pat McAfee and he tried that line out just to see if it would go viral, and it did. So he, pulls it out again for this press conference. I wanted him to be I'm a little surprised. This is why it still feels like they didn't want to fully commit to heel Rock yet because I'm a little surprised he didn't lean more into it. Kind of like Anthony said when he brought up his like family tree
Mhm.
PowerPoint and expected everybody to fucking get on their
Dude,
hands
I'm
and
sorry.
knees.
That tree looks stupid. It was really bad.
I know. I was just
Whoever
like,
came up with
damn.
that was AI. Like, I don't care.
I know I was trying to find the Rock's name. I was like, I thought him and Roman would be at the top because they're like, oh, top head of the table. I'm like, where the fuck? Okay, this is too
Hmm.
many. I can't figure this out. Yeah, this I I get what you're saying. It still feels like, well, now it feels artificial
Hmm.
because they're leaning into it. They fucked up, and now they got, I guess, lucky. I don't even know what to call it,
I
but
don't
like
know. I don't know.
when Triple H comes out on Facebook and like, quote unquote makes the match official, because like who knows it?
Yeah.
I thought the match was official when he pointed at him after winning the Rumble. But it's like I'm not gonna fucking pat you on the back for like doing the thing that you said we're gonna do
Hmm.
2 weeks ago, and now you're like, oh, now it's official. I'm like, well, it's official because you were collectively bullied by a large portion of your fan base, and so you changed it. I mean, they're never. I forget who was watching someone's reaction to everything that had been transpiring, but they made a really good point, which was like the most frustrating thing is like WWE is never going to admit when they were wrong.
Yeah, never.
They're never
No,
going to
never.
admit it. They will cover it up. They will make it look like it was always part of the plan. Oh, you're being worked. It was always a work. Like they're not going to admit that The Rock pulled a power move, tried to get the main event. They thought Cody was popular enough where people would be cool with him beating Seth and
Hmm.
wouldn't hate The Rock for just showing up and taking his Royal Rumble winning
Hmm.
championship match, whatever. And they were wrong. They were totally wrong. Everybody shitted on the idea. And now, they're in a really tough spot to unfuck themselves out of they totally fucked the booking. We said this before. They collectively kind of ruined both matches now,
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
seemed almost impossible
They put
to
two
ruin Rock
guys who
versus
haven't been
Roman.
cooking in like 2 years,
Hmm.
Yeah.
as Cody said.
Yeah.
That was a
That
good
was a good
line.
line.
That was a
That was a
great
good line.
line.
Two guys
The
who haven't been
only
cooking in like 2 years.
problem is that Cody, what, 6 days ago, said he didn't want to face Roman at WrestleMania. He just said that. Not only did he say he doesn't want to, he said he found somebody else to face him instead.
Yeah.
I watched the promo. I watched it happen. You can't gaslight me into thinking that Cody didn't say all that shit. Like
You know what they could
I
have
think that's the
done?
frustrating thing. Is there's no way to make Cody not look like a total idiot who had the match, gave it away, and then changed his mind just now. Yeah. So
They could
it's
have
still
done
frustrating.
a return to like this is me joking, obviously, but they could have done a return to Stardust to fight Roman Reigns.
Does but
Like
I won't
I
be
know
facing you at
somebody,
WrestleMania.
I know somebody who will. Stardust.
Yeah, that's some shit Mick Foley would do. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's frustrating, I think. Because I agree with Frankie. It's like it feels sloppy now.
Hmm.
It's like you had a very tight story. I mean, Frankie and I have been watching this fucking Bloodline story for years,
Hmm.
for years. And so it felt like such an open goal of like, okay, Cody wins the Rumble. He's gonna go to Mania, and he's hopefully gonna finish. Hopefully, because you just never know.
Hmm.
Hopefully, he'll win the title, so we'll all be saved. And they had this really lucky instance of large majority of people wanting to see Roman Reigns lose, basically to anybody. And a lot, but luckily, a person who he was going to face, who a lot of people wanted to see win. So, which is not always how it works in title matches. Sometimes people are very divided. Um, and it was a perfect situation, and somehow it has gotten so unnecessarily messy.
Hmm.
And I do want to say though, this press conference structure was awesome.
Hmm.
This was cool. I hope they continue doing this. I thought it was just gonna the shit they've done in the past is literally a press conference.
Yeah.
And so it was cool to see them like they're in the arena, like they're doing promos, and I was like, oh, okay, this is like I feel like I'm getting a show. Um, but yeah, the I don't understand the I don't understand the Rock's part in all of this. Because,
Hmm.
like, by the end of the, you know, press conference, we're joking around that it's going to be Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody in a tag match, playa. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, why are The Rock and Roman fighting? What doesn't seems like they're on the same team now. I'm very confused why this match would have even happened in the first
Yeah.
place. It seems like they don't have any sort of issues.
You smell what the bloodline is cooking?
Yeah, yeah, but I think what's at the heart of all of this. The Rock doesn't need to, he shouldn't be in any of this. He shouldn't be involved. This is a situation where he forced himself in,
Hmm.
and in real time, we're watching WWE attempt to clean up his mess, which I hope that sounds familiar, because this is what he does. He shows up, he creates a huge fucking mess that some other company has to fix, or in the case of the DC, they just shut it all down. But yeah, they're trying to clean up The Rock's mess because his power play didn't work, and he looked visibly surprised and annoyed um, that people were shitting on him. I mean, I hearing the Rocky sucks chants on Monday were surprising because
Yeah.
I haven't heard that ever. But hearing people, I was always skeptical, like, will they say it to his face? Because
Yeah.
The Rock has this aura, he shows up, he's if you smell blah, 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 blah,
Hmm.
like all that, like people get hyped. They're like, hell yeah, The Rock's here. And I just didn't trust a crowd to actually shit on him to his face.
Yeah. Like,
And
uh-huh.
no, it felt to me like something like this guy has needed to get knocked down a few pegs for a long time. He has needed a fucking arena full of people to chant, "Fuck you, you suck. You're shitting all over this thing we really wanted to see happen."
Yeah.
And I enjoyed watching him be uncomfortable.
I imagine this like scenario where like Rock only comes back because he's bored, and so he'll text like whoever he has to text to get him back in for like a match, saying that he's bored, and there's a chain of messages to everybody in the business. Rock is bored, and everybody's freaking out. Oh my God, Rock is bored. He's coming back. He's gonna fuck everything up. Oh my God, get ready. Oh my God, everybody, watch the fuck. Like, get ready. He's gonna fuck something up. He's gonna take your match. He's gonna take your match. Look out.
Yeah. I like that idea that people freak out. It's like The Rock is super bored right now.
Rock is
Fear.
coming. Rock is coming.
Everybody
I'm sure.
run!
Hey, as funny as that is, that was basically Vince McMahon's world. It's like Vince McMahon had just had dinner, fucking
Yeah,
pray. It was a good
right.
dinner. Like it's not a joke. Like that was like I remember Jericho said like he tried to like pitch something to him and then he just said bad cow after
Yeah,
eating
he
the
had a
steak.
bad steak for
He had a
lunch or
bad stat.
something.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
bad cow. And then like he just was distracted by that, didn't pay attention the whole
Yeah.
time. It's like his steak was just bad. So yes, like I wouldn't be surprised too if The Rock's like that. It's like, fuck, The Rock had a bad workout, didn't deadlift fucking 1,000 pounds today.
Damian
Fuck,
Priest, give me
fuck.
your fucking briefcase, you little bitch.
You fucking jabroni. Uh, so I guess the takeaway from all this is to summarize, and implore and encourage the public. And if you're casual or non-casual wrestling fan, you're into this, go watch the presser. Judge for yourself. Me, it didn't do much for me other than just kind of, I guess what's the word? Just it was a self-fulfilling prophecy almost. It was already confirmed what I already knew. I don't think they were really gonna take Cody's spot away. If they did, then I was definitely just I guess I held on to a glimmer of hope, but I didn't held my breath. Obviously, I was more optimistic than I usually am for whatever reason, but because Vince McMahon isn't around, that they weren't gonna take Cody's spot. I don't think they would do him that dirty. Yes, like he could have gone Seth's belt, but that's not. We know that we're not idiots. Again, we're not idiots. We're not idiots to the point where like things are not making sense. It's gonna make sense. It has to make sense. But in the past, it hasn't been that way. Again, because we had a fucking old man who thinks he knows what's going on in charge. We got Hunter in charge and a better team in charge. Yeah, there isn't like I remember you made a point, Chris, about Ari like being involved and like he doesn't know anything about wrestling. I mean, we really don't know that. We really don't. Like the guy is a fan of combat sports. I like to think he is somewhat, you know, aware and in the limelight, and Trips is the one kind of guiding him or educating him. Point is, I think this presser just again confirms what I already knew. They weren't going to take it away from him, and there was going to be some explanation. The explanation, is it good? To be honest, it's no. You've said it. He literally said, "I found someone else," and they're not explaining that, and I don't think they will. They're just going to say, "Hey, remember when?" They're just going to be like, "Hey, remember when Cody stepped aside?" No, he didn't. No, we have a live presser where he came up and said, "Fuck you both. You guys can't cook." And then The Rock was like, "Oh yeah, well, cook to your face." That was cool,
Yeah.
wasn't it, guys? Like, come on. No, it happened on SmackDown. Yeah, your sister's show that you keep fucking for whatever reason just like saying it sucks.
Yeah.
It's like it gets time and time again. Like even when like there's new management and like fresh new stories or fresh new ideas, there's always something to fuck it up. Just like me and you, Chris, we were just recently reminiscing about the Snake in the storyline and the family storyline. So
Yeah.
good, so
Yeah.
good. The wrong guy won. The wrong guy won. It just fucked it up. But again,
Yeah.
different era, different person in charge. Um, yeah, it's tough. Again, this presser, go out and watch it. I'm gonna rewatch it. I guess I was a little distracted. I thought at some point people were saying Cody sucks. I'm like, God dang it. How is this,
Definitely
it's too
not.
much. Okay. That makes things a bit better, but still,
Well,
even then, it's just it's
and I wonder, I mean, 'cause I know they were talking about whatever the next update would be for Monday, but tomorrow is SmackDown. I wonder what's gonna happen tomorrow.
well, yeah, I guess Cole said we'll see you Monday in reference to him and Pat McAfee because they're on
Yeah.
Monday night show. But yeah, tomorrow. Oh, yo, you know what sucks? Fuck, well, I don't know. Did they show Bailey? And because she won
Who?
the Rumble.
Who?
Ah,
Who?
God, that was one thing
Cause
I'm
I'll,
not.
cause I'll be there tomorrow. So I'm hoping it's
Oh
a
yeah,
good
that's
showing.
right. What a flex,
Mhm.
man. Record that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You're insider.
This is tricky because Cody's on Raw and Roman's on SmackDown sometimes.
So
So,
Listen, I got the t-shirt and the sweater.
all right, load
He,
it up.
yeah, she wasn't there. Yo,
I do want to say though, I it, it- it's it's tough. I do legitimately think they were going to book Cody and Seth
mm,
because at like if I don't know if you guys have, but like if you've been paying attention to the full timeline here, The Rock signs on January 3rd,
hmm
basically handshake deal. He gets to face Roman essentially at this year's WrestleMania. So this is like 3 weeks before the Rumble. Triple H allegedly, this is still kind of he said, she said, allegedly knew about this match agreement before booking the Royal Rumble winner. So books Cody to win,
Mhm.
knowing that The Rock and Roman is essentially
allegedly, yeah.
locked in.
Hmm
Like allegedly, this is the story. And then we find out CM Punk got hurt, and they send Cody out there to do a promo with Seth for what I can only imagine was no reason other than they know this Rock thing is, Triple H knows this Rock thing is probably going to happen. And he's like, well, will the crowd get behind Cody not challenging Roman? Which obviously didn't work. Sounds like a little bitch on his hands and knees fucking begging someone to fight him at WrestleMania. And the only thing I can think of like this match was always, well, not always the plan, but like was still had a good chance of happening, was Triple H knowing that this would happen, or like having some faith that there would be enough pushback from the fans that he could turn around and go to Ari and Dwayne the Rock, or Rock the Dwayne Johnson, and say, "Hey guys, like we've got other, WrestleMania matches that people have shitted on, and if you think that sounded bad, like, do you really want the main event of the what you're framing as the biggest WrestleMania of all time to just be 20 minutes of people shitting on the match because they don't care about it, they don't care who's going to win or lose?" And so that's the only thing I can think of, is that he booked Cody to win because he thought that's the only shot I have at still being able to finish this storyline. Because for whatever reason, The Rock wanted the match but didn't want to show up in the Rumble for 5 minutes and win. So, but I, I don't know. It really felt like after last Friday, I don't know. I just don't know why you would run that angle
Yeah, I don't either.
unless you weren't going to do the match anymore.
Or unless you really were just trying to like really again, this is why like if I don't blame like these outlets, telling all this. It's also probably WWE purposely leaking. They have a history of leaking that stuff
Yeah.
to throw fans out. So we just don't really know. I don't know. It's all speculation city, speculation mania going wild. And like this is the wildest it's been in a long time, I think. I'd like to think. Especially with like
Yeah.
WrestleMania. But like I'll in the quote stands like when Rock signed on and like the idea of him being like when he said the like, oh, should I get a seat at the head of the table, teasing Roman, and then
Yeah.
later it comes out that he's like, I would never interfere with Cody's thing, and then this happens. I'm like, it might be worked. It's like what's going on here? It's like I at first like I believed the Rock, he wouldn't do that. Like that's
Right.
he grew up in that old school. It's like you don't tread on someone like that. You don't just come in. Like people who come in, people who like you in that position would shit on you. You would shit on that on The Rock too, Rocky, if someone like came out of nowhere to just like take a spot from away from you or anyone in that locker room like that. Because that's the old school mentality. He comes from that school so I feel like he wouldn't do that. But again, like I don't know. He's also the boss now, and and look, there was a nice little piece. I think it was from us. We'll talk about how hey, he couldn't get his way with the DCU, but now he's on the board of directors at
Yeah.
TKO / WWE, and president of the company. Doesn't have to be there for long. But in fact, it's a guy who's kind of like was just kind of got lucky to get the job. I'm paraphrasing here and being general, but The Rock, he's born in that's what made him a star and maybe made him a movie star. It was a stepping stone. He knows the business. He could lead this into infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I
we don't
think
know.
also though the one of the reasons I just refuse to believe that this has always been a work is that The Rock has done this in real life.
Sure, I get that.
Like he has tried this exact thing where
Mhm.
he wants to be part of something, and so he just forces his way in and usually ruins it in some way, and then leaves. And that he's done it before.
Yeah, Fast and
You can turn
Furious.
it into a work. You
Hmm.
totally can. But after the Friday promo, they did not say anything about this match. It was never made official. They didn't even utter a word until Raw on Monday. They were like, "Whoa, whoa, hold on. We never said that The Rock and Roman were going to face each other at WrestleMania." Even
Gotta wait for
though
the presser.
Cody
Gotta.
said it.
Yeah.
Cody said it on Friday. Cody literally said it on Friday. And then come Monday, they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, nobody made that match official yet." So it's I'm not going to give them any leeway. I said to you two in the chat, I have put up with too much fucking bullshit from this company to
Hmm.
give
Hmm.
them any amount of leeway in believing that they thought this all through from the beginning. Because there's just no way. There's no way that they went 3 days after all of the shit that they always do. Oh, someone holds up the championship, they do a face off. The guy who was just in the ring says, I don't want to fight you at WrestleMania, but here's the guy who's going to. And then 3 days later to be like, just kidding. We never said that. We didn't say that that was officially going to happen. It just
And
feels like ultra backtracking, full pivot, even though they were already facing that direction 2 weeks ago and they pivoted themselves and now they're repivoting back. And it feels sloppy, but I would still take this every single day uh, over the alternative, which we lived through, which was
hmm
a stubborn old man who never wanted to pivot, ever. And that was to the detriment of the product. And at least now, they know they fucked up. They're never going to admit it. They're never going to say, hey, we didn't think you guys were going to shit on The Rock. Because aside from Stone Cold, he's like the only one we can bring back to universal applause. and they were wrong. They were wrong. Rock was wrong. Everybody up top was wrong. He got shitted on, and they had 3 days to figure out how do we pretend that this was always the plan.
Hmm.
And that's what they're going with. And if it leads to Cody finishing the story, then I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take whatever I can get to as long as at the end I think we can all agree we just want Cody to finish his fucking story.
Yeah, and he deserves it, man.
He really
Fucking
does. I
deserves
mean,
it.
yeah, there's this fucking WWE period. It's like, no, he doesn't fucking deserve it because he left the company, he shitted on the company, he shitted on Trips. Yeah, so what? Fuck. Have you seen like half the toxicity of the locker room on both sides of the company, on both sides of these wrestling companies, and all fucking wrestling companies? Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
Look, this fucking
Like,
Dusty Rhodes kid, and
Who
they stardusted him.
yeah,
like who didn't shit on their company they work for? Like
exactly.
Right.
everyone shits on the company they work for. Everyone hates their job. Come on.
But they
Yeah,
fucking they embarrassed this guy.
They did.
yeah.
They embarrassed him. They released him,
Well, I
and
think he
then
quit. Well,
he
he
became the
quit.
main eventer.
Nah, he quit. And this is the other thing too about Cody's story. Is like he left on his own accord. He left on his own accord, came back on his own accord after starting a company, creating competition,
Yeah.
and he now he and like and I get and I guess this is like what now it's like trying to like now I'm getting hyped. It's like there's gonna be WWE fans out there crying when he wins, not because they're happy, because they're upset. They're upset like this guy came from a different other company, came crawling back and wins the title. What the fuck, WWE? You've lost your goddamn mind. You've lost your fucking balls. And to that I say, go cry in a fucking river.
Yeah, get with the times, man. Get with the
Suck
times.
it up.
If ever there, I mean,
Hilarious.
it's hard to think of a more deserving guy outside of, people who've just like been with the company a long time, like when Kofi Kingston won, or someone like, Daniel Bryan who was like overlooked for a long time, or Bray Wyatt when he won. Very well deserved. But it's tough to, it's a short list of guys who have deserved to win that championship more than Cody Rhodes. I mean, the story of Cody Rhodes is insane. He didn't just create competition, he created
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
competition.
yeah.
That AEW is their competition. They have never seen TNA as competition. If they did, Jordan Grace wouldn't have been at the Royal Rumble. They have never seen New Japan as competition. New Japan is way too fucking far away. Vince didn't even acknowledge Japan existed. AEW is the competition. That company was built by Cody Rhodes and his friends, but like it was his determination that he was told he couldn't do it. And he was told he couldn't do it in WWE.
Yeah.
And he fucking did it. And then he came back.
It's a
He
great
deserves
story.
that title,
Yeah, he deserves
man.
it. He deserves it the most. Ever since he cut that first promo when he was back post WrestleMania after he won and he beat guess who? Seth Rollins. It's
22
it's
and 0.
it's
Holy
22 and 0.
shit.
Quick thing.
22 and
Yeah,
0.
someone came up with a fucking
Oh my
a
God.
whole I guess the times that Seth and Cody have actually faced, I guess televised wise
Televised and live
and
events.
live events 22 and 0. 22 and 0.
Fucking Undertaker streak against Seth Rollins. That is so sad.
Sad as fuck. But
Oh.
looks like it's not gonna be that. And in a way now I feel bad for Seth. Dude was out there to
No,
fucking
no, because now we get Drew.
No,
Drew
Yeah.
that's
took
true. This
CM
is true.
Punk's
No,
spot.
but
Yeah.
like again, no, the thing is it's a whole other podcast that's gonna be an
Fucking
hour long.
t-shirt.
To like just to wrap things up. Yeah, like it's not the sense of like, yeah, I'm happy I'm excited for that. It just sucks because now he worked that title up and now it's been devalued in like almost a second.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
All that hype he built it up for, gone. It comes at the detriment of that title and Seth's hard work. And the poor man is hopping on one leg up there. Let
I
my boy
know.
is drowning out there.
Surprised
Let
they
him
didn't just
live.
fucking chop block him and leave him on
Yo,
stage.
guys, help. Yeah, Rock should have just chopped his leg.
Give him the rock bottom. Yeah, I will
You'd be on
say
the ground
before
like,
I will say before we go, the one thing I truly do not understand headed into this WrestleMania season, considering the belt is like not even a year old, why are they shitting on that championship?
I know. I know.
It seems to serve literally no benefit, and you don't need to do that. You don't need Roman to go out there and be like, "That's the second place." Table. Oh, yeah, that was a good line when he was like, "Table two, you'll be seated now." That was a good line. That was a good line. But you don't have to shit on the title. I don't
They
know.
don't.
You only have one guy who even shows up to defend his title, and it's not Roman Reigns. It's so bizarre that they have chosen. If they didn't want anyone to shit on the title, they would tell them, you can go out there and say whatever you want. You can't shit on the heavyweight championship. For whatever reason, they are okay with. I mean, dude, I don't even. What is this? Open WrestleMania? Like this should be on the pre-show at this point. Like this belt is fucking worthless.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It's really bizarre to me that they keep shitting on that title. And like you said, by association, shitting on Seth Rollins, who's been the only world heavyweight champion since they brought the belt back. Very strange.
Very strange indeed. Any last thoughts and concerns? We have no time left, so make it quick. Ant, you good? You excited? You happy, boy? You excited for tomorrow, boy?
I'm
I'm
trying to
excited
be.
for you. Come on, get excited, get excited. Go. Wrestling shows are fun, especially when they're live, even though they're fucking long as hell.
On the
I'll
bright
stick to
side, no
mine.
commercials.
No
How long is
commercials.
SmackDown? 2 hours or three
Yeah,
hours?
2 hours, 2 hours. But man, that traffic, be careful, man.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm figuring out a
Beat the
plan to get
traffic.
there.
Yeah,
No,
you should
I'm
leave.
talking post after. If you could try to leave early, if it's kind of whack,
Yeah,
just
I
leave
might
early,
take the
bro.
light rail. I'm trying to figure that out though.
All right,
You
all right.
could leave before the dark match. They're probably gonna do some sort of like 6-man dark match or something.
Yeah, but that's also fun.
Yeah.
Up to you, man. You don't got to work Saturdays, hopefully not. But yeah, that was the presser. We got our main event allegedly. Let's see what happens
Potentially,
tomorrow.
we'll see
Well,
what
yeah, we'll
happens
see what
tomorrow.
happens. We'll keep discussing. We're a wrestling podcast show now. But thank you so much for listening, beautiful people of the podcasting universe and world, and we'll see you next time. Peace.